Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of Perception Diet, and today we have episode 27 of Real Talk for Lightworkers, where we're going to talk about why you need to get real and honest about your true heart's desires. Okay, so I'm going to start this by saying this is not necessarily a teaching for everyone. So remember how we talked about in a previous video, how not every teaching is for you right now, and not every teaching is true, and not every teaching is true for you right now. I'll put the link to it down below. And in that video, we were talking about how, we all are going through phases in our journey, right? We're all going through an evolutionary path, and this evolutionary path that we're taking is absolutely unique to us. However, right, you're not the first person to ever go on an awakening journey, and so there are themes and there are overarching patterns in this awakening journey that we all take. And if we look at how it's kind of played out for the people that have gone before us, we can sort of determine where we are on that path and apply it to our specific situation. Okay, so there is definitely a time and a place for understanding that we can find happiness and peace and joy and emotional equanimity within the environment that we're in. All right, so this teaching of it's not about your environment that's going to make you happy. It's not having the thing, it's not having the relationship, it's not having the job, it's not having the money that's going to make you happy. That happiness comes from inside. And that teaching is definitely true, and that teaching is definitely a part of this journey, and something we need to truly embrace and go through that teaching and go through the process of encapsulating that teaching into our being as we progress along the journey. Now, what you're going to discover, okay, is that when you're really taking that teaching to heart, right, that I can be happy anywhere, that my happiness is from the inside, it's a decision that I make, you're going to learn a whole lot about how you were projecting things onto your reality, that you were making the reality mean things that it didn't necessarily mean. I feel like that is the true kind of meat that you get out of that teaching, is that there's so much projection going on, there's so much assumption about the reality, there's so much escapism and trying to run away from our pain, and right, this idea that I will be happy when I have this thing, when we're not, it's a reflection of not truly embracing the fact that you do have some deep pain and some deep triggers and some deep fears and some deep things that you, some deep shadowed aspects, essentially, some deep rejected aspects, wounded aspects that need your attention, and that's really what's causing you pain. It's not so much the actual reality, okay? Now, that being said, okay, so that is an important thing to go through, that we start to say, okay, I'm not going to blame it on the money, I'm not going to blame it on the relationship, I'm not going to blame it on my job so much, and saying that is the reason I can't be happy, and until this changes, I have to be miserable. We start to say, okay, why is this making me so unhappy? What am I making it mean? Why am I choosing to be in this situation? What am I getting out of this situation, right? Like, how can I start to find my emotional equanimity within this? How can I start to say, okay, this makes me upset. Why? Right? So we do all that work, the emotional mastery work, all the things that we've been talking about. Now, after that, okay, you're going to start to get to this place where what happens in your life is that you start to be able to have more control over your environment. Okay, so in the sense that as you do this internal investigation work, as you learn more about why you're triggered and do this kind of internal work of really integrating these wounded aspects of yourself back into who you are, right? So find, I'm triggered by this. Okay, that's a part of me that's wounded and rejected. Can I spend some time with that? Oh, it wanted me to do that, right? Like you are reconnecting with these aspects of yourself that have been shadowed. And essentially what you're doing is you're learning more and more about yourself as you learn about the reality, because you and the reality are the same thing, right? So as you integrate rejected aspects of yourself, what you're going to find, and this is not witchcraft and this is not magical, this is fully explainable, right? That as you integrate wounded aspects of yourself, as you understand yourself better, you will understand how reality works better, right? And then as you learn how reality works, right, through this whole non-judgment, observation, this active love that we talked about in the If We're Not Going to Save the World, Then What Are We Going to Do video, right? This active love, this active observation, and what am I going to do with that information, right? You're going to start to realize that, wow, okay, I have way more choices in my reality than I thought that I did, right? Understanding the reality deeper, right? Now feel like I have more options available to me of what I'm going to do with myself. It's not so much feeling like life is being dictated to you anymore. And this is truly how it feels, right? It's like graduating from elementary school to junior high. You get a little bit more freedom, right? And then because you understand things a little bit better. And then when you go from elementary or from junior high to high school, you get even more freedom. And then you go from high school to college and you get even more freedom. And then, right, you know, kind of in an ideal world and generally speaking, as you understand the world better, you get more freedom, right? You get more choices. There are more choices available to you because you have more information, more capacity to understand that information and then apply it, right? So what you're going to find as you start to learn about yourself deeper, learn about the reality deeper, is that you start to get to this place where you still have big dreams. You have these really big dreams and these really big goals and these really big things that you want to achieve. And it's no longer coming from this place of, I will be happy when that happens, and I can't be happy unless that's happening, right? And you'll notice too that there will be a shift. It won't be so much, I want $1 million, or I want the best husband in the world, or I need to be famous, right? It'll start coming from this deeper, different place of like, I really want to express this in the world. Like, I want to be this kind of person, right? This feels like in alignment with my purpose. Or, right, I want to manifest a partnership where we are working together for something. And inside the relationship, we feel this certain way and we have this certain dynamic that brings joy and brings life and brings fun and brings all of these things, right? You're going to notice that there's the shift in your desires, right? It goes from being like, I can't be happy until I have the money, till I have this deep sense of that this is what I'm supposed to do in the world. This is where I'm supposed to be in the world, and I really want to do and be that, right? You're going to notice that shift, okay? And this is where I'm saying, now we start to get really honest and really take our desires seriously, because we're in this new place now where the desire is not coming anymore from wanting to escape your reality, right? And that's where it's coming from for most people who are running away from their pain and they're unintegrated and they feel like their entire world is the reason why they can't be happy. It's like that's all just a reflection of all the stuff they've rejected inside themselves, right? But as you start to integrate these aspects of yourself and do all this emotional mastery work and you, like I say, you start to know yourself better. You start to know who you are, and you start to approach the world not as this impediment to my happiness, but as a place where I'm going to learn, grow, and expand, right? Where I have this freedom, I have this vehicle and this experience, this 3D reality, hologram, whatever we want to call it, this playground where I'm going to act out who I know myself to be. That's really what this is, okay? So hold on to that idea just for a second and we'll explain it in a minute, right? So you start to get these desires, and these desires are coming from a much deeper place within you. Like you will know the difference, right? When you've done your emotional mastery work and you take a break from making it all about the external world and you just go in, the external world isn't going to disappear. And what I'm saying here is that as we go along on this journey, you're going to find that you're going to get to a place where you're like, okay, well, I know my happiness comes from the inside, but this still doesn't feel like the job for me. This still doesn't feel like the relationship for me. I still feel like I want to move to a different country. And it doesn't feel like I can't be happy until that happens, but that feels like something that's really genuine and authentic to me. And it feels like this deep longing inside of myself that this really feels like an expression that I need to have. An expression that I need to express. And that is the key, okay? That is the distinction and the difference between the trying to escape the pain and I want my reality to be different so that I can escape the pain. And I'm wanting to create and express within this reality an aspect of myself, right? I want to prove to me that this is who I am. So this is what I'm saying, okay? When you start to get to that place, right, where your dreams and your goals and the things that you want in the reality are not necessarily coming from this, I need this to be happy, but it's coming from this deeper, different place, right? You didn't get rid of desire. You didn't get rid of wanting your life to be different. That's still happening, but it's coming from this like expression place. It's coming from this kind of like almost like frustrated wanting to give birth place, right? That's when you get really serious and really committed to those visions and dreams, okay? And what I'm going to say is this, all right? It's not necessarily to say that that vision and that dream that you have, right, that thing that you're visualizing in your mind right now of being what you want is 100% going to be what you express. But you know, the closer you know yourself, I would just say that there is a good likelihood that whatever your vision is what's going to happen, okay? But what the kind of more general advice I want to give about this is simply that when we start to move from that place, right? You already know what that place is. We defined it lots. That this is an expression of me, right? This is something that I want to express in the world. This is something that I want to watch myself be in the world. This is an acting out of something that I feel like I need to act out. That's when you know that you've reached this place where these desires need to be taken seriously. And I want you to know that that dream and that vision, whatever it is that you have, is probably going to be, from your vantage point right now, really far-fetched, right? It's going to be like, who am I to think that I could be that? Like, that is totally crazy and not at all where I am right now. And I don't even know that I could get there. But then there is also this part of yourself that is like so confident that you could get there. And the reason that you have that part of yourself that knows that you can get there, right? If you let go of the logical mind just for a second, right? Because the logical mind is going to be like, that's completely impractical. That's like, no one's doing that. And that's ridiculous. Make your dream smaller. Make it more logical. Make it more reasonable. Make it fit more into the box that you are living now so that it makes more sense to me, right? That's what the logical mind is going to do with this big dream. But what I'm going to say is that there's another aspect of you, the higher mind, the higher self, right? The part of you that's already there, that knows all the theory, right? Done all the study, just needs to walk it out, just needs to go into the lab and do the experiment, which is what this is, this 3D reality, right? That part of you that knows, yeah, but no, this is who I want to be, and I know that I can be that. Just start to digest this idea that it's because that's who you are, okay? The vision and the dream that you have is the physical representation, manifestation of who you already are, of who you are, right? You already have all the book knowledge. You've already done all the studying. That's why you're in this body having this human experience. This human experience is the lab. It's the playground. It's the sitting in the cockpit and actually flying the airplane after you've done all the study of how to fly an airplane. It's the taking all that theory of how molecules and all these things interact in a test tube and actually playing it out in a test tube and seeing it for real in the 3D. That's what this is. So that dream that you have, okay, is your conceptualization of the being that you are, right? It's you saying, when I am doing that, living that life, that's me being who I am, right? That's me saying I'm on this path of expression, right? That I came here to express, that I'm evolving consciousness through being and playing out and acting out this being that I am, okay? So that dream of you living it, when you're living it, is not then you've accomplished it, okay? Because you've already accomplished it. You already have it all within you. It's just when you've acted it out, right? You've taken all that knowledge of what you already know about how to fly an airplane, and you're just actually flying the airplane, right? So the reason you want to get serious about these dreams and not necessarily be so attached to it being exactly how you think it's going to go, right? Well, definitely let go of how you think it's going to go. So this is the first thing, right? You have no idea how you're going to get from where you are right now to living that out, okay? So just scrap that. You think you know right now. You think you know the process. You think you know the logical steps. You think you know how you're going to get there when you even allow yourself to embrace the dream. You're wrong, okay? But in a great way. You're wrong in a great way, because this is the part of life that's super exciting, okay? So how you're going to navigate this is this, okay? Number one, let go of the logical mind. It doesn't matter, because you can have whatever it is that you're envisioning, because it represents who you are. It's not even the thing that's anything, okay? That's not what that represents. The vision and the picture is who you are. And I'm going to tell you in my own life, okay? I wanted, my big dream, my big vision was to be running my own company online, traveling the world, right? And using all of my skills to help people, or to, facilitate a journey in some way. And when I conceptualized that dream, I was 22 years old, only ever having experience working in retail, had no experience working online, had never traveled, right? Ridiculous dream. That was a ridiculous dream. And I'm now living that dream. I am that person now, right? But the journey that I took to get from where I was to where I am now was completely different than what I thought it was going to be, right? And every single step along the way, all the challenges and all the obstacles and everything that I faced, the layoffs, the roadblocks, it was just like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, right? Turned me into the person that I am today, that can do this, right? I am now able to hold this space because of everything that I went through, right? All the challenges and everything that was hard and everything that was crazy, and having to really dig inside myself over and over and over again to find this person that I am and live as her, right? So what I'm saying is, get serious about the dream. Feel what it feels like to imagine yourself at that dream. Don't make the dream smaller. Don't make it more logical. Don't make it make sense. Let it be exactly what it is, and feel what it feels like to be in that place, okay? Let yourself feel that energy, feel that vibration, feel that emotion, feel who you are when you're there, okay? And then the next thing, as you're moving along in your life, from where you are right here, right now, today, make all of your choices based on, does it feel like that? When I imagine doing this next thing, right, that's being offered to me, it's not the end goal, right? So like, say my end goal is to run my own company and to be traveling the world. The next thing that's going to come to you is not a ticket to fly around the world and a domain name, right? The next thing that's going to come to you is this job offer, or right, this job offer, or this opportunity, or whatever. And it's going to look nothing like the end goal, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to sit and you're going to say, okay, every decision that I make from now on, so I'm getting this job offer, I'm going to feel into the job offer. When I think about or feel about doing this job offer, taking this job, does it feel like that? Does it feel like how I felt when I was in that place? Or does it feel like contraction and running away? So if it feels anything like that, then it's the answer is yes. That's the path, right? And if it feels like contraction and repulsion, then it's a no. That's not the path. And that's how we do it, okay? Because you're not going to know the path. You're not going to know how it's all going to unfold. And there are going to be a whole bunch of steps along the way that you didn't think had anything to do with getting to be that person, to getting to that dream, okay? But you're going to have to do it. So feel what it feels like to be at that big dream. Know that that's who you already are. That's why you can feel it, right? You're now just going through the process of walking out, expressing that, okay? Feel what that feels like, and then base every decision that you make from now on that feeling. Get serious about your dreams, because those dreams are who you are. It's just you wanting to express the truest, deepest version of yourself, right? That's what this is. It's not really even about the dream. It's about you living as the person that you know yourself to be and taking that journey. And we give ourselves these visual cues so that we can develop the emotion, so that we have this guidance system, this roadmap that we build for ourselves through emotion and visualization, right? To expressing who we are. That's what we want. We want to express who we are. We want to express our individuality and our sovereignty. That's what you want. So get serious about that dream. That big dream that you have, get serious about it in that you feel what it feels like and you follow that feeling. All right? And just know that it's going to look nothing like what you think it's going to look like, and it's not going to be practical, and it's going to be everything that you need. Okay? So like, share, subscribe. Questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. Follow us everywhere that we are, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Mwah!